My fiancée asked for an open relationship the day she got back from her girls' trip, but it's what I found 3 days later that destroyed me. We'd been together 4 years, engaged for 8 months. I thought I knew everything about her. We had the wedding venue booked for September, put down a $6,000 deposit. Her parents were paying for catering. We were building a life. When she left for that girls' trip to Miami, I didn't think twice about it. She'd gone on trips with her college friends before, always came back happy, showing me pictures of beaches and brunches. This time was different. She walked through the door on Sunday night and something was off. She didn't run to hug me like usual, just rolled her suitcase past me, said she was exhausted and went straight to bed. I figured okay, long flight, maybe some drama with her friends. I gave her space. Monday, she barely talked to me. Tuesday, same thing. By Wednesday, I finally asked if everything was okay. She said, yeah, just decompressing, but she wouldn't look me in the eyes. Then, Thursday night, she sits me down on the couch with this serious look and says she's been thinking a lot about us, about our future. She says her friends are all in open relationships and they're thriving. She says they're happier than ever, that it keeps things exciting, that it actually makes their bonds stronger. I just stared at her. We've never once in 4 years talked about anything like this. I asked her where this was coming from, and she said she just thinks we should evolve, that monogamy is outdated, that if we really trust each other, this shouldn't be a big deal. I felt my stomach drop, not because I was angry yet, but because the woman sitting in front of me suddenly felt like a stranger. I asked her one question. Have you already done something? She said, no, of course not. This is just a conversation. But the way she said it, too fast, too defensive, I didn't believe her. I told her, if that's what you want, you can pack your stuff and leave right now. She started crying, saying I was overreacting, that she was just trying to communicate, that I was being insecure and controlling. She left that night, went to stay with her best friend. The next morning, my phone exploded. Her friends were calling me, texting me, saying I was toxic, that I couldn't handle a mature adult conversation, that I threw away 4 years over a hypothetical. One of them actually said, maybe you're the problem if you can't even discuss this. Some of my own friends were split. A few said I was too harsh, that I should have at least heard her out, talked it through like adults. My best friend said, bro, she just asked a question. You kicked her out. Seems extreme. I started doubting myself. Maybe I did overreact. Maybe I let my pride get in the way of a real conversation. Maybe she really was just curious. But something still didn't sit right. The way she couldn't look at me. The way she came back different. The timing of it all. So 3 days later, I texted her and asked if we could meet to talk. She agreed immediately. Said she was so glad I was willing to work on this. We met at a coffee shop near our apartment. She started apologizing, saying she never meant to hurt me. That she got caught up in what her friends were saying. That she loves me and only me. I nodded, and then I asked to see her phone. Her face changed, just for a second, but I caught it. She handed it over and said, of course, I have nothing to hide. I opened her messages, and there it was. A thread with some guy from 5 days ago. The day after she landed in Miami. The messages started flirty, then got worse. I didn't need to read all of them, just enough to see what happened. There was one voice note from him that said, I can't stop thinking about last night. When are you coming back? I looked up at her and she was already crying. Not because she was sorry, because she got caught. I put the phone down on the table and said, you weren't asking for an open relationship. You were asking for permission after the fact. You wanted me to say yes, so you wouldn't feel guilty about what you already did. She didn't deny it. She just kept saying it didn't mean anything, that it was a mistake, that she was confused. I asked her one more question. Did your friends know? She went silent, and that told me everything. I stood up and walked out. I didn't yell, didn't make a scene. I just left. The next few days were rough. I kept replaying everything in my head, wondering if I missed signs, wondering how long this had really been going on. But then something shifted. Her friends stopped calling. My friends started apologizing. Turns out she'd been telling people I was emotionally abusive, that I was the reason things fell apart. But when the truth came out about that guy, people started connecting the dots. My best friend called me and said, bro, I'm sorry. I should have had your back from the start. Her best friend even reached out and apologized. Said she didn't know the full story until she saw the messages herself. My mom said something that stuck with me. She said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't wait for them to prove it twice. I blocked my ex's number, canceled everything related to the wedding, lost the deposit, but I don't care. I'd rather lose $6,000 than spend a lifetime with someone who couldn't be honest with me. Last I heard, she's still with that guy from the trip, but honestly, I don't care anymore. I'm not angry. I'm just done. Some lessons cost more than others, but at least I learned mine before I said I do.